Welcome to the next episode of WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Wind Waker. We got some dialogue here, so I'll save the intro for later. Jack, do you know the legend of the Hero of Time? Once, long ago, he defeated Ganon and brought peace to the kingdom of Hyrule. A piece of the Triforce was given to the Hero of Time, and he kept it safe, much as Zelda kept hers. That sacred piece is known as the Triforce of Courage. When the Hero of Time was called to embark on another journey and left the land of Hyrule, he was separated from the elements that made him a hero. It is said that at that time, the Triforce of Courage is split into 8 shards and hidden throughout the land. Even I do not know where they rest, but this much I do know. They lie hidden somewhere in this great sea. The Triforce of Courage is the only key that will once again open the doorway to Hyrule. You must search for it. So last episode, a lot of story-related stuff happened. I'm not going to explain it all. If you want to find out what happened, just watch the last episode. The basic gist of it is that their Master Sword is not powerful enough, and so we need to go get it powered up. Not only that, but we also need to find the Triforce of Courage to get back underwater to Hyrule, as the King of Red Lions has told us. All of this concerns basically helping Zelda escape from Ganon, or rather not being found by Ganon, because he wasn't really defeated, apparently, by the fire. He was just temporarily something, but something that wasn't defeated. Either way, whatever we did wasn't good enough, so now we've got to go and find a whole lot of stuff. But before we do that, we have some business to take care of. You might remember that we've been taking some pictographs with our DX Pictobox. Now, we're not going to be able to use those for anything other than the figurines, so I figured it would be a good idea to first just drop by the Forest Haven and have them deposited in the gallery. Right here. We're not going to be doing this very often. This might be like one of the last trips that we make here, because I'm not going to really be showing you how to do everything. I'll tell you about almost everything you have to do with the gallery. Basically, it just involves taking pictures of everything in the game. So we're just going to deposit this batch right here. Once again, it sometimes takes like a day and a night for each one to get done. I think that's how long it usually takes. So let's just give him the 2 pictographs we've got. I think one is of Tetra and the other is the Helm Rock King. Yep. So we'll give him the Helm Rock King first. Hopefully he'll take it. Yep. It's good that he's taking these, because if they didn't work, we'd be completely screwed, because you only get one chance for each of them in the first quest of the game. Because in the second quest, spoiler, they just start you off with a DX Pictobox, which saves you some time. Alright, so I just skipped ahead. It's night here. So if you give him one during the day, after you haven't given one in a while, he'll just make it immediately, it'll be done by night. But then at night, you've got to just give him the next one, and it'll be done, I think, by the next night. He always finishes them at night. So now we've given both of them went off without any problems, so that's good. And now from here, I think we should probably just see what next side quest we're going to tackle. Oh right, we have the trading quest. You might remember that we got the Sea Flower at one point. That was part of the trading quest, and we're going to be finishing the first part of that trading quest really soon, because the whole thing itself is kind of long, and we're going to get it done eventually, but we're going to get an earlier part of it finished right now, that way we don't have to worry about it later. So just get the Ballad of Gales, set it to warp to Great Fish Island, and then just sail to the island where the merchant is on that island. He won't appear until a certain point, I think. So I'll just cut ahead to us, getting right over there. Okay, we're at the merchant. You need to have the Sea Flower in order for this to work, because each merchant will give you something different in return for whatever item you give them. In this case, giving the merchant on Great Fish Island the Sea Flower lets you get the exotic flower, but you do have to pay a little bit more for it. Typically, each item that you find will cost a little bit more. So now, Zunari's shop will be able to stock town flowers, sea flowers, and exotic flowers. Those are the 3 flowers. Once this shop is able to stock the 3 flowers, you can get a special item from Zunari. And once he can stock a ton of items, actually you don't get any more rewards from Zunari, you just get more items that you can get from his shop. But that does make the trading quest a little bit easier to finish, because there is one more thing you can get out of the trading quest from one of the merchants. But we're going to save that for later. Right now, I think that it's time I showed you another feature of this game. One that becomes accessible only after you've defeated the Helm Rock King in the Forsaken Fortress, because that actually changes quite a few things on the map. Mostly that's where it changes up where you can find cannon boats. They'll be found in different places than before. So we're just going to be sailing west of here, 1 quadrant. I'm just going to cut ahead to us getting there. The reefs are located all over the map. We're at one of the reefs right here. This is I think 4-eye reef, or maybe 3-eye, I forget. We're going to find out from Fishman which one it is. So there are 6 different reefs around the ocean, and all of them become stocked with turrets that you can fight after you defeat the Helmrock King. There can be cannon boats there and other stuff earlier, but you won't be able to get their rewards until you defeat the Helmrock King, because that's what makes the turrets appear. It changes a few things, like turrets appear at the reefs, cannon boats appear at different islands, etc. So it's kind of like the halfway point of the game in a way. So I guess we're just about halfway through this Let's Play, because in my opinion the second half of the game is a little bit longer. Yep, it's 3-eye reef, as you saw from his chart. I know it sounds stupid, the second half is a little bit longer, like any part of the 50% can be harder than another. So I guess it's not really a half, but it's kind of like the 2 main things. That's a horrible way of putting it. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you have to be careful. Sometimes if you shoot things at 2, when you're too close to them, the explosion will hurt you too and you'll get knocked out of your boat, which is very annoying. So we're just going to sail in here. Unfortunately, the wind can also be quite annoying inside reefs, unless you really want to go through the go to the trouble of changing it again, which I don't. So we got that turret right there. So the idea is each turret only takes really 1 shot. So to get the reward, all you have to do is kill all the turrets. You don't have to beat the cannon boats, but it's recommended because they can be a pain. Each of those little eyes, I guess, inside the reef usually has the turrets on them. I think that for the most part, I'm going to be fast-forwarding through like just about every reef that we meet. Not skipping them, but showing them in fast-forward motion, because they're really just more of the same, all of them. And what's weird is that even though it would seem like the ones with more eyes are harder, that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes ones with less eyes can be a little bit more frustrating just because they'll have more turrets in them. I'm not sure what the difficulty for them generally is, but I think 3-eye reef is just around the middle of them in difficulty. Maybe a little bit easier. I think Cyclops reef is supposed to be the easiest, but then again, it might not be. So I think there's one more turret on the other side. Sometimes the turrets will be found on the sea wall instead of on the eyes, so just keep that in mind. It's also very annoying. The reefs are actually some of the places where you might lose a little bit more health than usual, just because of how many stupid bomb things are flying around. Bomb things, also known as bombs. Anyway, there should be a treasure located somewhere around here for us to pull up with our grappling hook. We can take care of that in a little while. Right now I'm just going to get the treasure that's located on top of the reef. And you can find it by getting onto the slanted side of the seawall and then just climbing up from there. It's usually a very long walk around. I'm going to be cutting ahead most of the time, but this time I'm going to fast forward it just to show you how long it takes, but not make you have to sit through it. So there we go, we are finally at the end of that road. And once you're at the highest point of the seawall, wherever that's located, sometimes it's not at the very end, you want to use the wind's requiem, and then change the wind's direction so that it's pointing towards whatever eye the treasure chest is located on top of. Like so. Generally the wind is pointing in the right direction here. And then just use the deku leaf to fly over to it. Remember, you need to be standing on the highest point of the seawall. That's where we are right now. And also, I think it's interesting to mention that all the reefs are supposed to look like sides of a die. That's why there are 6 of them. I know we have a treasure to pull up here, but this episode's kind of gone on for a little while now. I think I'm going to end it off right here now that we have a treasure chart, and we'll just finish up business here next episode and continue with everything that we're doing at this point in the game. So, I'll see you then.